Day 4,792 of quarantine. And you can see where my hair is with that. So, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that we're not going back to school. Your teachers are to close up shop, but we're not going to have class together again. And that sucks. I hate it. I've been teaching over 10 years. I believe this is my 11th year off the top of my head. And every year, I always say goodbye to my students. That's what every teacher does. And none of us get the opportunity to do that really this year. We have to do it virtually, which sucks. This is not my cup of tea. You know that. I'm a hugger, a high fiver, a special high fiver. We have all of our cool secret handshakes. I'm a fist bumper. And this sucks. But I refuse to let the quarantine and pandemic era of teaching and education get me down and to stop me from doing what I do every year. And so, this is my goodbye to my sixth graders. And it's going to be kind of hard because usually I'm talking personally to you and we can ask questions and we could just share stories, and I don't have that either. So this is the best that I can do on the virtual platform. So every year I tell my students that there's a couple of things that I want you to leave my classroom remembering. And in no particular order, they are, you can do what you put your mind to. There's a lot of obstacles that are going to get in your way in life. A lot of personal, a lot of business, a lot of dramatics, a lot of things that are going to get in your way in your life. But the hurdles and the obstacles are what make us successful, no matter what you choose to pursue. I'm not the teacher that is going to sit here and tell you that you can't be what you want to be. Now, obviously, there's a caveat, and that's another word for a catch. There's a catch to that. You're not going to be a professional baseball player if you suck at baseball. You're not going to be a professional musician if you don't practice your instrument. You're not going to be a lawyer if you think studying the history of law sucks. Find what you're good at and pursue it. Find what you have a passion for and pursue it. And then if you have the talent and if you have the work ethic, it'll happen. Through a lot of hard work, it will happen. Number 2, and this is where we have to get kind of personal because a lot of us have witnessed this. And it's unfortunate that we have to have this talk. But I wish teachers would have had this talk with me and my classmates. You see, there's a lot of bad crap out there in the world, namely drugs. And we live in one of the worst hit drug-infested areas in the United States of America. And those drugs are going to be offered to you much sooner than you would think. I was offered drugs in late middle school and throughout all of high school. Unfortunately, there is a lot of my classmates that are no longer with us. It seems that the Facebook group Fallen Timberwolves has a new post once a week about somebody that has overdosed or died with substance-related problems. I've had I don't want to say close friends. I don't want it to make it sound like that I've had personal loss, but my classmates, I've lost a lot of classmates to the drug epidemic. And I'm sure that many of you, unfortunately, know all too well what I'm talking about. So, to sound as corny as humanly possible, because I used to roll my eyes when I was in class when we'd have the "don't do drugs, drugs are bad" talk. But there's a reason that health teachers tried to get that through to us sometimes. And while all the commercials when I was a kid, and I'm sure your parents can tell you, the "say no to drugs," there's a reason that those were on TV, and there's a reason that they told us that. You don't want to end up addicted to a substance that ruins your life. It could ruin your life. It could take everything away from you. Okay? So I always tell my students, don't even start. Don't even start. I've had a lot of buddies of mine I was actually texting one today because we lost another classmate to a substance-related death. And he was addicted to drugs, the guy I was talking to, and he said it was the best decision I ever made. And he knows the exact day that he stopped doing drugs, and he keeps count. That's how important it is in his life that he finally got clean. Don't ever start. Because when I said rule number 1 was that you can be what you want to be and achieve what you want to achieve, that goes down the toilet when you get addicted to drugs. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And the third thing that I want you to remember from our time together, you'll notice that none of this has to do with social studies. The reason for that is because I hope you learned and I hope you enjoyed the class. But the whole goal of teaching you is that we were a learning community. In my classroom, we could laugh, we could cry, we could have cool stories, and I know you learned. I know you learned something of American history. I have confidence in that. I have confidence in you. So the third thing I want you to remember is that, again, it sounds corny, but you are a special person. We all are. A lot of us have quirks, and a lot of us have maybe low self-esteem, and we don't see that we're special. But each one of us and each one of you brings something to this world and to the table that can make a difference in this world, in this town, in this state, in this country. You name it, you can make a difference. You are unique. You are valuable. And I want you to use those gifts that you develop, that you work on throughout your life. You're young, man. I want you to go out and I want you to make something of yourself. Whatever you want to pursue, again, you have to have the skills and you have to hone those skills, but I want you to do it. I want you to realize that you are unique, you are valuable, and that you'll always have a place in my heart. I have taught for, like I said, this is like my 11th year. And some of my teachers, I had teachers that taught for 40 years. And I can only imagine the effect that those people had on countless lives because they had an effect on me. From my first couple of years of teaching, I've seen kids that are now married, have kids, have become pharmacists, doctors, went to the Air Force and helped fight and protect this country, Navy, Army, you name it. I've seen it, and it makes me immensely proud. And so you'll always have a place in my heart. You'll always be one of my kids. I always tell you, those are my kids. Doesn't matter how old you get. Doesn't matter when you got kids of your own. You always be one of Mr. Perry's kids because that's the relationship we had. We had fun together. Usually it's 180 days. We didn't get that. But we had over 100 days together where we were a family. And I want to say that I truly appreciate you being a part of my school family, and I'll miss you, and I wish that I could have done a better goodbye. Take care. I cannot wait until I can see you all outside playing baseball, playing football. I'll be in the stands. I'll be umpiring. I'll be there because I want to see you guys enjoy your summer because I can't think of anything suckier than a summer stuck inside. So hopefully that happens. Take care. And the first day of school next year, I don't care if you're big, bad 7th graders, you better come say hi. Bye.